Alright, so I was going to set the ignition timing, but found out that I should probably have a decent piston stopper or a dial caliper, and my dial caliper right now isn't working perfectly, so it's time to get a new one. So I was working on the timing, and I put the degree wheel onto the crankshaft, and I had to make a kind of a hub for it. Got some stacked washers, and that's actually a piece to my crankshaft puller, and I made a hub to attach the degree wheel to. I dumped my torque wrench off the end here. So I'm going to do the timing, but I want to grab a dial caliper and do it right. So I decided, well, there's no reason to stop production, and I put the rear wheel back on. That was pretty easy. One washer, one nut. Slide the wheel in over a spline shaft, the output shaft for the wheel. It's a lot like this shaft, but it's splined all the way. And I slide the wheel on, right up flush against, so the brakes flush against the, hub is up flush against the engine in the back. And then we tighten down this washer and nut. There's a washer in there and a retaining nut, and that gets torqued down to about 100 Newton meters, which is on the Newton meter scale there. It's about the same as for all of you Americans and those using the standard measuring system, about 70 foot-pounds of torque for the rear wheel retaining nut. And we'll just check that. If I can do that. It's a lot of torque. Maybe not. There it goes, you heard the wrench. So that's about 100 Newton meters. And they say 100 Newton meters plus or minus 20%. So I guess anywhere up from 80 up to 120. So we're gonna go with 100 right down the wire. And I think since I don't have a piston stop or a dial caliper, I think that we can work on the clutch in the rear. Might as well keep going on the rear until we get one. So we'll continue with that. Putting the clutch in, putting the torque spring in, the new gear up gears have already been put in. We showed you that. And the gasket and the covers torqued on. So we'll do the clutch and the torque driver in the back, or the torque driver in the back. And then after we set the timing, then we'll move up to the front and put in the variator, the front pulley system, the belt, reassemble any of the starter parts that can stay in. We're using a Melosi overrange kit, so with that kit you lose the electric start, which would come in up in this hole right there. So we'll figure out what we're going to do with that after we work on the rear end and after we set the timing.